Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Nameless, and we are in Lance's route. So when I saved this, it came up Lance's route. We already knew that, but I don't think we've technically started the first chapter in his route. We're still just at the end of John. The cat named John or whatever. And they didn't say this in the last part, but I was thinking as we were reading through it that it's really cute that T found a home for the cat so that Yinho wasn't sad. So that's kind of adorable. But I was thinking it and I was going to mention it, but then I just kept reading and then I was like, I had to pause for a second, like between recordings, and I was like, I should have made sure I said them. Like, I was thinking it and I just never even brought it up. But anyway, I do have a hobby I can't tell anyone about, but besides that, I was completely ordinary on the outside. So I thought that I would ride a limousine once in my lifetime on my wedding day. But what I'm seeing right now is overturning all of that. Who knew that I'd take a limo to school? Maybe my grandpa up there would have known. Anyways, every day I've been going to school in the car of everyone's dreams. And a frickin' limousine. Ooh. Since the commander got off, it's my turn now. Don't rush. Princess, you don't mind the cherry boy and just... Oh. Wait, what? Don't rush. Princess, you don't mind the cherry boy and just get off when you want to, since you can't get hurt. Master, see you at the classroom. Every time one of the boys gets off, I can hear a girl screaming. I'm assuming it's get out. Get out of the car then. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? The translation. I do like this game. I really do. The translation is a little painful in places because it's just awkward. It's just... My brain doesn't want to wrap around it. Like every time one of the boys got off, I could hear, like, get off. I'm like, what? Oh, we're talking about getting out of the car. I'm like confused. I'm like, what are we talking about? Anyway. T, look over here! What the fuck? It's like we're with a boy band. Seeing the crowd, I feel like I'm looking at movie stars getting on the red carpet. Of course, this is so not a red carpet event. It's just people going to school, a normal thing that happens every day. The number of screaming girls grew, and they started to form a massive crowd around the limo. But I have no idea why half of those girls aren't wearing our school uniform. After Yuri, Yinho, Red, and T got out of the car, I was alone. Right, Lance left early for school because of his discipline duties. When the four boys entered the school gate, the noisy crowd naturally disappeared along with them. I took the chance and quietly got out of the car. Phew! I can't make an objective decision yet on whether the bus or the limo is the safer way to go to school. If a crowd forms every day like today, it might be more dangerous than a packed bus. But it's definitely better that I'll never be late for school. I got out of the car, brushed off my clothes, and headed to the gate. I was about to pass the gate when I saw a familiar face. Huh? It's Lance, who started his discipline guide duties. Seeing him stand there without looking exhausted, I think this suits him. Lance looked pretty interested in the student government last time, and he ended up applying to join. I'm glad he has something he wants to do. I felt glad to see him in front of the gate and was about to say hi, but I suddenly felt as if there were more people around the gate than usual. Sure enough, a number of girls were lingering around the gate. It seemed as if they were going to stay there looking at Lance right until the bell rings. I think it'd be too hard to be friendly with him in a situation like this. I took out my smartphone and texted him. Good luck, Lance. You look good at as the discipline guide. Oh my god, that's so cute. We can go and click on different dudes. Oh, that's neat. Why is it not? Okay. What are we supposed to do? It's not clicking. It's not. Okay. Oh, okay. Alright, I was like, why you have to close the phone? Okay. Alright, now Spacey figured it out. It just took way longer than it should. I'm like, why is the game broken? Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Good luck, Lance. You look good as the discipline guide. I don't know why we needed to say that when we saw it, but it's okay. As soon as I sent the text, I saw Lance take out a smartphone from his pocket. But as expected, he didn't reply and just put the phone back into his pocket. And he went straight back to fulfilling his duties as if nothing happened. It's so Lance. I took a glimpse at him for the last time and went through the gate amidst the girls. Here's the limousine, girl. Stop it. There were so many people today. It's a small cost for what you get to enjoy. Going to school with cute boys in a limo every morning? You can't get any luckier than that. And the Ice Prince is standing right there at the front gate. Your eyes must be screaming with joy. A week before, when I first came to school in the limo, Soy clung on to me and started interrogating me about everything. So I had to come up with whatever excuse I can, like I did when they transferred to the school. I told her that Mr. Yuri was giving me a ride as a thank you for being a guide for the Hot Five. I added that I couldn't refuse and that I only found out about the limo on the day I started taking it. I would never be able to tell her the honest details, but I had no choice but to tell her that I was taking the limo. Well, no, even if I didn't tell her, she would have soon found out anyway, since there's such a big fuss. You look tired. Soy said, oh, nuh-uh. Why does it mess them up? Shinbi said while sipping her strawberry milk with a straw. Yeah, a bit. It's natural that I feel tired after getting through that enormous crowd. I wasn't physically in a battle, but I just feel so exhausted. Tired? Why? You came to school with the Hot Five. I told you, even you'd be tired after seeing a bunch of scary girls run at you in the morning. I'm thinking of talking to Mr. Yuri about me just taking the bus. Then can I take the limo instead of you? Your house is on the opposite side. It doesn't matter. I can just go early and wait. Do you think I'd care about time and money when I have the chance to ride that dream car? I think Soy thinks of our house as a limousine stop. I left her to chat around and took out my smartphone. I didn't get any texts. I guess everyone's busy trying to make their way into the building since no one has contacted me yet. Yuri ended up getting smartphones for everyone. Thanks to that, we can contact each other without any trouble. As expected, Yinho's the one who texts me the most. T, Yuri, and Red only contact me when they have something to say. On the other hand, Lance doesn't text at all. Hey, give me your smartphone. You only seem to be calling and texting. That's such a waste of a phone. Why don't you get some apps? Apps? I did often see ads for different apps on TV and on magazines, but it was too much of a bother to search and install, so I've never tried using one. When Soy was just about to take my phone, the bell rang. Oh, the bell rang. I'll install a couple for you later. Class is it for today. Since the midterms are right around the corner, make sure you all study properly. Oh, fuck. We actually have to do quizzes, and it's a quiz about the game. You know I'm going to fuck it up. But we'll save before we do that. And there's no guide for that, which is fucking stupid. You have to do it in every path. I don't like that. There's no guide for the thing. Finally, math class is over. It was so difficult trying to stop myself from dozing off. Should I take a quick nap? Oh, right. I searched for my smartphone to check for texts and the time. No text so far. God, math is probably the most complicated field of study mankind has ever invented. I agree. I'm definitely sure that the black things are letters and the white thing is paper. The hell am I supposed to do with these alien letters and numbers? Oh, whoops, I clicked the wrong button. I fidgeted with my smartphone and answered. I only know the basic functions of my phone, but I unconsciously hold on to my phone. Right? I'm not the only one who thinks that way, right? You are so my friend. Since I have you, I don't think I'll be alone in the exams. No thanks. I don't want to end up last in class with you. Come on! What are friends for if not to go to hell together? A single word has given me tickets to hell and being the last in school. Who was right in front of me? Ugh, how could you break up with me so easily? I knew Shinbi's the only one on my side. Help me! I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. So I teared up and ran towards Shinbi. Shinbi let out a sigh and stood up from her seat. Huh? Seeing her come towards this way, I put my smartphone on the desk. Hey. Yeah? I couldn't help but get nervous and tremble a bit when she called me. It was so intimidating the way she looked down at me since I was sitting down and she was tall. I don't know if it's okay to to say this about a girl, but she's so handsome. A group of girls were looking this way with revering eyes.
Good. Go, Shinbi. Show her what you got. You trained all this time by the waterfall.
Waterfall? So he must be reading fantasy novels these days. Chick. Chick? He's crying. What? What does she mean, chick? Look over there. She pointed somewhere with her finger. I could see Yinho hugging onto his math book, looking as if tears were about to fall from his big eyes. He knows how to bring out the mother instinct from girls. Which is weird. Surrounding him were a bunch of kids. Actually, girls hiding their dark desires. For some reason, there seemed to be more girls around him today. I couldn't just stay still while he was crying, so I went towards him.
Yinho, what's up with you? Why are you crying? Yeah, Yinho, why are you crying? Did someone hit you? I don't know what's going on, but my arms are free. Yeah, so what's going on? Oh, listen, so why don't you tell me? Or do you want to come to my house? Hey, what the hell are you saying? Your house, obvious much? What? What's obvious?
Damn, hey, you guys move over. He's getting scared. Why are you guys intimidating him? Oh, that was a guy, wasn't it? Whoops, sorry. Why are you guys intimidating? Don't worry, I'll take care of everything for you. Yeah, a man shouldn't cry. Of course, compared to those witches, you're way more Ow, hey, who threw this dictionary?
Punishment for a pervert.
What? What do you mean, pervert? I can't understand what the hell everyone's saying. They're speaking in human language, but I can't follow their conversation at all. All I can hear are the words pervert and house. For some reason, I'm more worried about this situation than Yinho crying. So I was just about to get through the crowd of those weird kids and approach Yinho. Suddenly, a familiar figure swooshes by me.
Oh no! Yinho, you're crying, huh? What should we do about those beautiful tears? Who the hell made our yellow chick sad? Tell me. I'll take care of whoever it is. How dare they touch my property? Whoever that person is, bring it on!
Soy really is an amazing person in several ways. Her eyes were glaring like those of a world champion. Everyone slowly started to back away and got further away from Soy and Yinho. I went through the path Soy parted and went beside Yinho. Yinho, why are you crying? This. Yinho held up the thing he was hugging onto. Huh? The math textbook? Yinho nodded. Soy looked confused. On the outside, it just looked like a normal textbook. I opened his book to find anything out of the ordinary. There was nothing strange. No, actually, there was nothing. It was clean. There wasn't a single thing written in the book. Huh? What's wrong? I flipped through the pages again. Even considering the fact that it hasn't been that long since the boys came to school, this was basically a new book. He didn't write any notes. I'm just stupid. I have no idea what the teacher said. Nothing. Oh, must have had such a hard time understanding math. I remember the time when I saw Lance and T do everything perfectly right after they turned human and felt embarrassed of myself. So I used to think to myself, I'm a useless person who can't even do what dolls can do. But I guess not all dolls are smart. I felt sympathetic to Yinho, talking about how difficult math is for him. I even feel like we might be able to get closer with this similarity. Yep, I wasn't wrong about math being mankind's enemy. It was at that moment.
The math textbook is the villain. Arrgh.
So I snatched away Yinho's textbook and was violently trying to tear it up. It's not really a textbook, it's more like his notebook. Because your textbook would already have shit printed in it, because that's the way textbooks come. So it's more like his notebook, but whatever. Hey, wait, what are you doing? So I growled like a hunting dog and attacked the math book. She was going to shred it to pieces any moment now.
I'm going to destroy it. This thing made Yinho cry.
I wish I had a buzzer to tell her she's wrong. How could you be so wrong? It's ridiculous. Don't take it out on the textbook. It's not the book, it's math itself. I raised my hand to stop what Soy was doing. I feel sorry for the book. Soy suddenly stopped her actions at what Yinho quietly yelled out, and everyone was completely silent for a moment. After the 3 seconds it took for Soy to switch her personality, she calmly put down the textbook on the desk.
Anyway, so the yellow chick is saying that math is too difficult, right?
Is it because I'm just stupid? Don't say that. That's so not it. Math is really hard for me too.
Yeah, you can live a completely normal life without knowing anything about math. I still mix up my sums and differences.
Soy completely degraded herself and made a sweet smile. Anyways, it's fine. Math is supposed to be hard. You don't have to worry so much. Tears. Okay. Even Lance, who's super smart, won't know everything. The class today was especially hard.
Really? It's hard even for Lance?
It's hard for everyone, so cheer up. Yinho's expression grew brighter. Whew, thank God. Yinho finally stopped crying.
Wow, amazing! You're so awesome, Lance! He already solved every problem in the textbook!
Ugh! What spectacular timing. I broke out in a cold sweat at what the kids were saying behind me. Wow, Lance, is there anything you can't do?
Lance, you're so cool! Look at how he solved them! How can he be so precise?
Come to think of it, when the teacher asked him a question earlier, he answered without hesitating. He was so cool. You said you lived abroad, right? Were you in the gifted class or something? Oh, that was a girl, not a guy. I don't know. Whatever. Psh. Maybe she's just got a deep voice, okay? I glimpsed and saw that he had written down the solutions and answers to every problem. The exact opposite from Yinho's textbook. Hearing everyone exclaim, Lance replied in his usual expressionless face. There's no reason to be complimented for this, since math is a simple study where all you have to do is apply the formula to get an answer. He must not know how superior he is, and said indifferently. There will be students who feel despaired after hearing that. I'm worried. Especially the boy with yellow hair who's trembling right beside me. Lance stood up from his seat, and he blew his final punch. So if you can't solve this easy thing, it must mean you're stupid. Lance left the classroom, leaving those final words. Everyone turned ghostly pale after hearing what he said. Guys, you all know Lance didn't mean that, right? Such a joker! I was the only one breaking out in a cold sweat in this frozen atmosphere. This is all Lance's fault. He should at least give us a warning before dropping a bomb. Everyone stayed silent for a while. I was about to have the illusion that I'm seeing penguins in this icy atmosphere when... Oh my God! So cool! What? Wow, did you see how he looked at us as if we're insects? No wonder he's called the Ice Prince. What? I know, right? I wish he'd stare at me like that once. I think everyone's got mad at Lance's attack. Everyone's gone mad. If not, there's no reason they'd be infatuated with Lance looking at them that way. I'm wrong in thinking that everyone's getting better at distorting reality, right? I see. I heard Yinho's teary voice by my side. Ugh. I knew it. I'm just stupid. It was Yinho and not the girls who was devastated by Lance's punch. I forgot that Yinho is still innocent, unlike them. How do I take care of this? I don't think that's true. Shouldn't be suddenly appeared out of nowhere. There's a great ancient saying. Ancient saying? Yeah. What does she mean saying? What is it? Happiness is not measured by grades. I thought for a while on whether that was a great saying. A couple girls blushed and agreed with Shinbi. Hey, that's such a good saying. I don't know who said it, but nicely put. Yinho's teary eyes slowly cleared up. Happiness is not measured by grades. There's no guarantee that you'd be happy by being good at math. You can be happy with a lot of other things. Math is still unexplored territory for me, too. No, it's more like a black hole. Right. Shinbi's really bad at math. I barely stopped myself from telling Soy that she didn't need to add the last part. And anyways, there must be some other subject that you're good at, and you can always study for math. Yeah, we'll help you study. I'm not confident about math, but I can help you with English. Will I be okay after studying? Of course. To be honest, considering my own experiences, there are some things you just can't do after studying. But I had to make a white lie so that Yinho can cheer up. Then I'll try my best and study. You'll help me, right? Yinho quickly cheered up and looked at everyone with sparkling eyes. I'll teach you. I will. I raised my hand first, Yinho. You trust me, right? Trust me. What are you talking about? Trust me, Yinho. Wait. An enormous barricade formed around Yinho, just like before. I just think it's hilarious. I mean, the girls are all falling in love with him because they're pretty. And, but the boys are all fucking in love with him. This is fucking nutters. Naturally, I was pushed to the back by that huge wave. I think it's completely freaking unrealistic. I mean, I know the whole game's unrealistic, dolls coming to life. But I think they do this, everyone's infatuated with them. So that, when you actually gain their attention and they actually like you better than they could it's basically this boy, whichever one it is, has his pick of anybody, guy, girl, beast, whatever. They can have anything that they want, but they choose you. It's supposed to make you feel more special, but it's just a little weird. Whatever. I worried to myself on how I'd be able to help him with his studies, but seeing the situation, I don't really think I need to step up and help him. I can only pray that there's someone over there who will only help him with the studies. I feel like I'd soon get pushed around if I stay around those aggressive kids any longer, so I backed away a bit. I felt like there was more distance between us other than the wall in front of my eyes. He always used to be by my side, but I can't hog him to myself. I should respect his privacy. Used to always be by my side. He was so cute and adorable the way he followed me like he was a chick following a hen. But it's true that on one side, that worried me a bit. But now so many people at school like him, and Yinho gets along really well with them. So it's better for Yinho for me to be pushed away sometimes, like now. I waved towards Yinho, who was still looking at me from afar. I feel a bit down for some reason. I should just go out and get some fresh air. I turned away from Yinho, who was still surrounded by everyone, and left the classroom. Yes, we will save. Boop. We're going to go here. Okay. And we have to make sure we make saves. Ice Prince. This is our actual first Lance chapter, so. So none of the others. So, while we do have choices in those that we'll have to make for the different peoples, the different peeps, but now we're in Lance's chapter, so. I head towards the cafeteria for lunch as usual. Crowded as always. I waited in line for a long time to buy fresh juice and a chicken salad. Ever since the dolls became human, I started to spend less on doll items. So naturally, I was able to stop eating ramen and all those junk foods. As I entered the cafeteria, I saw Soy waving exaggeratedly at me from afar. I hurried towards her, afraid she won't stop waving until I sit next to her. Huh? I was walking towards Soy when I saw a familiar silver head in the corner. Lance. He was eating by himself again. In his hands was a small sandwich and a juice pack from the cafeteria store. But no one approached him, as if he was surrounded by an invisible wall. Regardless, he just ate his sandwich like an expressionless robot. It's the only calm scene in the whole cafeteria. On the contrary, Yinho at my 5 o'clock was eating, surrounded by his friends. The two seemed to be equally popular, but people always gather around Yinho. That's because Lance is like, get away from me. What should I do? Okay, well, duh. We're gonna go approach Lance. I waved towards Soy, who's furiously waving her hands at me, and I walked toward Lance. Huh? I was walking to Lance when I suddenly felt furious glances thrown at me. At this creepy feeling, I peered around. I finally realized that Lance wasn't really alone. There was a girl hesitating behind him, unable to actually approach him. And from afar, I noticed 2 girls at my 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock coming here step by step. The air was tense from all the girls waiting for the right time to approach him. It was like an African grassland. To be more exact, a pack of lions hiding out in front of a delicious prey. I can do this. If I go on like this, those lions will tear me to death. I was about to head back when someone shoved me from behind. Ah! Oh, sorry. Thankfully, I wasn't shoved too hard. I just lost my balance a bit, so I was about to tell him I was fine. But Lance suddenly stood up from his seat, and I lost my words. Suddenly, all the lions stared at me, and so did Lance. Sorry, I wasn't watching where I was going. Oh, no, it's my fault. I was totally spacing out. The boy said he was sorry and walked away. Lance glanced at the boy. Are you all right? As Lance talked to me, I thought I could almost feel the furious glances rampaging towards me. I hurriedly nodded to shake the feeling off. That is what happens when you space out where there's a lot of people. I love the way he just the graceful way he puts his hand on his face like that. Lance sighs and scolds me. I looked at him in rebellion for scolding me when we're not even at home. But Lance suddenly changed the subject. Is that your lunch? Lance looked at my salad and asked. Yeah. All the girls stirred at seeing Lance talk to me first and continue the conversation. I mean, I can understand, since Lance almost never starts a conversation. The more we talked, the more I felt the envy and jealousy coming at me. Meanwhile, Lance silently looked toward his seat. No one sits around Lance. And he looks at me again. What? Lance hesitates and closes his mouth again. He looks like he has something to say. Never mind. What? Never mind what? Lance stood still and didn't think to sit back in his seat. It was as if he was silently screaming for attention. This is where you're like, hey, so I was actually just coming over because you looked lonely, so I'm going to sit with you. So sit back down. We're eating lunch together. Let's do this. I was silent at the immense awkwardness, but suddenly I realized the whole cafeteria went quiet. Even the girls who were giggling with Yinho stared at me and Lance, standing awkwardly together. I feel smothered by Lance's gaze and the awkward air. I was about to be suffocated and sink into the ground.
There! A huge cockroach!
Ah! Where? Soy's sudden scream brought an instant uproar in the cafeteria.
Ugh, I hate bugs! Spacey, come over here!
Soy urgently whispered. Is this Soy's painstaking effort to save me from that awkward situation? Without hesitation, I escaped and ran towards Soy. I almost died drowning in that awkwardness.
Huh? Where's the cockroach? Oops, sorry, I saw it wrong.
God, I was so surprised! The situation calmed down and I gathered myself beside Soy. After I calmed down, I felt my stomach growl. Ugh, I was so tense I forgot I was hungry. Thanks, Soy.
Spacey, look over there.
What? Soy pointed toward the back. I turned around and found Lance quietly eating his sandwich in his seat again. And a girl was marching towards him. Unlike me, she fought through all the stairs and confidently sat next to him. Her uniform told me she was an upperclassman. Her curls were impressive. Hey, Lance. Everyone just stared as she confidently said hi to him. But Lance didn't respond and just ate his sandwich. We should have fucking eaten with him. What is wrong with us? I mean, it's okay.
So shy. I heard you never eat with others, but aren't you really the type that gets lonely often? So letting me sit next to you is probably...
Or is it just for me?
Oh, you don't have to answer. I understand you're shy since there's a lot of people here. Let's talk when we're just by ourselves. You seem to like confident girls like me. What do you think about me?
She rattled on, ignoring the fact that Lance never even looked at her. Besides, she was like some narcissistic character from a cheesy soap opera. Is she joking?
That short-haired girl who hit on you earlier was pretty lame. You have an eye, so you must have felt the same. I understand.
I was spacing out when I suddenly came back to my senses. That short-haired girl must be me. I didn't hit on him. I was going over to talk to him and be his friend. But sort of hitting on him. I was feeling a bit shocked that she mentioned me when Lance stopped eating and stood up.
Lance?
I hate someone sitting next to me when I eat, especially if that someone's chatty. Lance took his half-eaten sandwich and walked towards the front door. He threw away the leftover sandwich in the trash can and walked out of the cafeteria.
Oh, my.
The senior looked shocked and just stared as Lance walked away from her seat. The cafeteria instantly turned silent. But to be honest, she wasn't that chatty. Was that worth getting that mad about? She was being kind of obnoxious, though, if you think about it. Lance stopped on his way out and looked at me. Like before, he seemed to have something to say to me, but his attitude bothered me. It would be nice for him to treat people better so we could get along. What should I do? Hold on. Ooh! Save! We have to save here because if we choose not to... Okay, I know it says to actually... So in the guide it says to do the good path first before you do it. And saving at the labels, then going back and getting the bad endings. But I feel like... Do we really want to... All right. We'll for Lance's path, we'll do that. We'll go down the good path first, and then we'll come back and do the bad endings. But I think we'll make the decision after that if we want to do the bad endings before. Because I kind of feel like if we do the bad ending now, right, we could reload. I'm going to think about it because we're going to end this part here. I'm thinking, even though the guide suggests doing the good ending first, I'm thinking maybe we should do the bad endings as we come to them. Just because... I feel like they won't reveal too much of the plot, and I just don't want to end the path on a bad note. Like, oh, now we just did all the terrible things. I don't know. It could be a mistake, but we'll find out. So I think maybe we'll do the bad path first. But I'm going to end this part here, and when we come back in the next part, we will go down Lance's first bad path. Wow. These are really fucking easy to make bad choice. I mean, but anyway. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.